What is up, everybody? I'm back today, and today I'm going to be talking about my biggest positions when it comes to my stock market portfolio. So my number one biggest position when it comes to individual stock is Apple. Apple is currently my biggest holding, and here's why. First of all, when I was looking for individual stocks, I was looking for a couple of things. I was looking for a rather low PE ratio. I was looking for a company, so a lower PE ratio, which Apple has. Their trailing PE is about 14. I was looking for a company with significant revenue and the ability to continue to increase the revenue year over year, which Apple has done. I was also looking for a company with an established brand, which Apple has a very established brand as well. And lastly, I was looking for a company with a very good competitive edge, which Apple does, especially with the fact that they have over $250 billion worth of cash, which is a lot more than any other company. So even if some of their major projects or their major items like their iPhone or their services business, which are both very huge, for some reason decrease, Apple has that ability to go buy another company or start another project. They have the ability to fund. So Apple is one of my biggest positions, and tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit more about Apple and break them down a little bit further into why they are my biggest position for individual stocks. Now, when it comes to ETFs, my biggest position currently is VFIAX, which is a Vanguard ETF for the S&P 500. Now, it is the same as VOO, and it is the same as VFINX. The difference between those three is VOO is specifically just an ETF. VFINX and VFIAX are both S&P 500s, but once you get $10,000 into that account, your expense ratio goes lower. So I invest in that Vanguard account because it has the lowest expense ratio you can basically get for an S&P 500 fund, and also I just trust Vanguard as a whole. My second largest position when it comes to ETFs is VGT. So VGT is a Vanguard technology fund, and this year it's performed something like 38% year to date, which has done very well. For me, I want to have the bulk of my money in S&P 500 just because it has all aspects of the U.S. stock market, like I talked about in my Stock Market for Beginners course, which you can watch by clicking the links below. But I'd like to pick another part of the market that I think is going to be hot for the year. And so far, technology has been very hot, so I invested in that, and it's done really, really well. So I have a good portion of money into Apple for individual stock. I have a good portion into the S&P 500 ETF, VFIAX, and then I have a good portion of money into VGT, which is a Vanguard technology fund. Then outside of that, what I have going is just a 401k through work, and what I do with that money is through Fidelity. So I have 50% of my holdings in S&P 500. I have 25% of my holdings in a small cap fund, and then I have 25% of my holdings in a value index as well. I'm going to make another video about that, breaking that down a little bit further for people who don't know what to do with their 401k money, who are younger or just starting off. And then lastly, I have a Roth IRA that I started years ago through Vanguard that's performed well over time that I do have money in, but I'm not contributing any money to that right now. Just continuing to grow the 401k and then growing the outside investments that I could use in a short amount of time. So this is what I want to talk about today. Is those are my biggest positions and where I invest all my money right now. They've been doing very well. Apple is up about 50% this year. S&P 500 is up 20% this year, and Vanguard Technology Fund is up 38% this year. It's been a great video. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about some good stuff when it comes to Apple, and then the day after, you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to talk about how to allocate your 401k for a younger person who's just beginning. So thanks a lot. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.